Hey everyone, welcome back to BrickVault. Each of our Republic Starfighters has gotten an update by now, with the exception of the Z95 Headhunter and the V-wing. We're gonna fix this now and bring up the V-wing to 2026 standards with this studless model designed by myself and heavily inspired by and in cooperation with our long-term BrickVault builder Thomas Jenkins, who did a ton of other amazing models for BrickVault as I did myself as well. I loved the V-wing ever since I first saw it. I always wanted the set from 2006 back then, but never got it, so naturally I felt drawn to give it my own spin. When I first talked with Thomas about it and saw the first work in progress pics, I knew this would be an amazing model, but Thomas unfortunately wasn't able to do instructions this time around, and I couldn't let that happen, deprive you all of such an incredible design. So I took it upon myself to do them, but not without giving it my own sauce, and basically redesign almost everything about this model, except for a few internals and something here and there. Anyhow, the Alpha-3 Nimbus-class V-wing, as you may know, is a support ship in the Republic's navy, often seen escorting diplomats or generally important people's ships. The first version on BrickVault designed by Thomas was released back in 2019, so it was due for an update, that's for sure. If you like this model and would like to build this yourself for your own Republic army, you can find the building instructions as always on BrickVault.toys, where we sell the highest quality instructions for the highest quality custom builds out there, with so much passion, just like the passion fruit. You could cut us up and get your daily dose of vitamin C from us, with C standing for customs. Now, how's that for an intro? Anyhow, getting back to the V-wing, technically there are 6 versions available on BrickVault, and before you go, David, why is there so many? I only know 2 versions. Yes, there's the Republic version we all know with the dark red markings, and the Imperial variant that we see briefly in episode 3. But chances are, if you clicked on this video and you may have researched the V-wing yourself because you like the ship, you know that basically every media that the V-wing appears in has it landed in a different position, which is extremely annoying for us custom builders. But yeah, with the help of Thomas, we made all 3 variants that I will show you all in this video. All variants have mostly the same detailing on the outside, with some minor differences on the side pods. Mostly the interior is different to house the different gearboxes for the landed function. They all have between 987 and 1009 pieces, depending on the model you want. The stand adds another 169 pieces, and the parts will cost you roughly 120 to 150 USD per model. Starting with the regular Republic V-wing, it is 27 cm long on the stand, 16 cm wide and 20 cm tall. Here's an extendable fork as a size reference. As you can see, the V-wing is almost completely studless, with just a few unavoidable studs showing on the windscreen and on some other areas. I have seen a lot of V-wing models out there, and it seemed to me that it's not possible to make a V-wing without using at least some wedge plates on the top surface or on the bottom. Even Thomas's version has them on the underside. So naturally I wanted to challenge myself to try to get rid of these wedge plates and make it all snot. That allowed me to integrate some of the very fine details in here, like all the correct color blocking with the dark red on top and some dark bluish gray where I saw fit that represents wear and tear, plus the black stripe on the bottom with a sharper black triangle section at the front, which is very accurate if you look at reference material. I also haven't seen anyone trying to make the heat sinks on top snot. So I tried that, and I think that worked out really well too, thanks to these newer slope pieces. This whole model is dependent a lot on these newer slope parts, so I can't blame any past models for their approaches because these just didn't exist back then. The new angles possible now are just awesome. In between the heatsinks we have the all-important astromech and the Republic insignia. The cockpit can be opened up, but there is very limited room to hinge it up because of the heatsinks, so it doesn't go all the way. Still enough to put a pilot minifig inside. He has a control console in front of him, and he sits on a container door piece which is nestled in there quite snugly. The backrest seems to be in nice brown leather, so if you're escorting the Chancellor of the Republic, it seems like you're flying very comfortably. Now this model is displayed on a black stand that has the V-wing angled upwards ever so slightly. The stand is connected with 4 studs on the underside and can be removed easily. Sometimes it takes a couple of plates with it, unfortunately, but that's unavoidable. It's very easy to just put them back though. At the bottom you can also find some of the very strange bar detailing that is actually accurate to the real model. And what you can also find down here is the landing skid up front, because that's what you're all here for, I assume. The landing functions is what everyone loves about the V-wing. This is the backboard facing landed configuration that we see in the Bad Batch, for example. Personally, I think this landed configuration makes the most sense and looks the least silly, so I wanted to have my personal V-wing that I display in the studio be this version. You just rotate the upper engine at the back and the wings fold automatically. Quick word about the engines, I wanted them to be as accurate as possible, so the tiles are even angled a bit so it depicts a cone shape. Back to the landing though, this is also the most complicated mechanism inside, with quite a few gears involved here, which is why I like this the most too. The side pods have 2 cannons on each side. Below that we have the venting detail that I was super happy to be able to integrate properly. In the back is my favorite parts usage in this whole model, because this piece, which is the absolute best piece to depict this shape, actually comes in dark red, which was the most satisfying thing ever when I discovered it. It looks like this piece is specifically molded for this use case here. The wings, so to speak, have some really cool color blocking. This is probably the most similar to Thomas's version. It was so good I didn't see any reason to change this. Moving on to the Imperial variant, this one is basically the same build with just the dark red and some dark bluish grey switched out for black. So I won't be showing you every single detail again, but you can see it looks really cool and badass in this color scheme. I'm actually quite surprised we got a Lego set of this version back then, so naturally this version needed to exist in the BrickVault collection as well. I built this one also to showcase the other landing variation. When turning the upper engine again, this one folds its wings forward. Very simple function in this one, and I think we see this configuration in some of the earlier depictions of this model, for example in the 2005 Battlefront game. And lastly, I needed to rebuild the landing mechanism for my Republic V-wing to show you the third and final landing configuration. Man, that gets tiring with all the different versions, but here we are. This is the one we see in Battlefront 2 and briefly in the background of Episode 3, so yeah. Turn the engine at the back again until the wings are facing downwards, and then you need to manually adjust the wings to face outwards. And yeah, not the most sturdy configuration, but it looks cool. You also need to insert a transparent piece beneath for this to hold up properly. The models are extremely swooshable, as you would expect from a starfighter of this size. I flew this ship around all day after completing the build. Super fun, and I think this just looks awesome next to all the other Republic starfighters or next to the Theta class shuttle. But as any Lego build, this also has its weak spots. Mainly the engines. I'm glad I was able to capture the look of these, but this is a section that you handle and turn a lot for the function, and the tiles can come off occasionally. Just pop them on again, no big deal at all. Also, the cannon assemblies are held on with just one stud. There was no way for me to make this connection stronger without sacrificing a lot of the look here, so this works for me, and if you use new pieces, again, no big deal with all the clutch power of new bricks. Also, if you overturn the engine at the back with the wings already together on landed position, you can feel a bit of flexing in the chassis. No big deal either, but wanted to mention it regardless. The model is very strong overall, much stronger than you might think, so a piece popping off with heavy play is no big deal to me at all. At last, I wanted to thank Thomas again, not only for all the work he did for BrickVault, but also for allowing me to mod his V-wing and create instructions so you can all enjoy this model as well. I want to make sure that it's clear this would 100% not have been possible without Thomas's model and consent, so make sure to leave some love in the comments for the legendary Lego builder Thomas Jenkins. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like as well. I personally really enjoyed getting to tackle this awesome vehicle. I always loved this ship, so this was really fun to me. Feel free to check it out in the description below, and I'll catch you guys and girls in the next video, probably a new top 10 MOCS of the week, here on BrickVault.